7 p.m., so we'll call the meeting to order. Before we begin, I'd like to ask that we just take a moment of silence to reflect on the events of 17 years ago, and also in memory of our past chairman, Dave Hosmer. Thank you. All right, the clerk call the roll, please.
Why don't we just start, why don't we just name yourself, starting over here? Jeff Keller.
Mike Bradrick.
Mike Doherty.
David Ford.
Ron Cabell. Mike Burnett.
Dave Bridges.
Okay. Mr. Lessig and Mr. Chamora are both excused, and Mr. Lessig has requested that Mr. Kelleher fill his seat for this evening, and Mr. Chamora has requested that Mr. Bernardi fill his seat for this evening. So those are two alternates.
Mr. Doherty. I think it could be an issue if we fill both seats, because the minority rule requires if there are 5 people, one has to be of the minority party. If there's 6, it needs to be 2. So unless somebody wants to become a Democrat for the night. I mean, it doesn't actually change anything. But we do have some things that actually require a vote.
Yeah.
That will be official, and I don't think we want to accidentally
Well, that's fine.
cause a problem.
Anybody else having?
I think we had this issue discussed before, that there's nothing in the general statutes that addresses minority representation with alternates. It just says the elected officials.
Must be.
And I thought this was resolved before. I have no problem with whoever is put in at the request of any absent member, regardless of party.
Well, does the...
Actually, the discussion was about using an alternate to fill a seat. And I did have a conversation with the Secretary of State's office at the time. And they said, yeah, it is a problem if you violate the minority rule. And the minority rule is pretty clear. I mean, it's just, there's a table and there's numbers, it's not a lot of interpretation in it. And it's easy enough to avoid, and it won't change anything.
Mike, you know anything about that?
I always thought that the minority representation always was with committee membership. That's what I had always understood. I didn't realize that it pertained to actual attendance to individual meetings. Because there were many times when I was in Hartford, and we had representation on on committees based on how people voted in terms of the proportionate amount. But you might have 6 Republicans at one committee and 2 Democrats, or 1 Democrat, and there were times, you would be vastly outnumbered one way or the other.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know what the actual general statute is, but I'm not aware that that's an issue.
Well,
the reason it would be an issue is that you can stack it.
I think for tonight's meeting, that's what we'll do. We'll get it clarified. Actually clarified down the road. But I know that if in fact we don't have minority representation, we can't have a meeting. That's